Today's lecture is going to go over what statistics really is, because I think a lot of people have a misconceived notion about statistics. And I think that stems from people intertwining math and stats. Even my dad, when he tells people what I do for a living, he says, "My son is a math professor at Cal Poly." I'm not a math professor. I'm a stats professor. If a math professor and I switch jobs, or if a mathematician and a statistician switch jobs, we or they would both be fired within a week. That's because what math is and what stats is at its core are very different. Math is all about getting to the definitive correct answer. Statistics, on the other hand, is about estimating an answer. If you're someone who has struggled with math in the past, whether it be algebra, calculus, differential equations, the good news is this statistics course will be very different from those types of courses. And I don't want you to come into this course scared or nervous about not doing well if you've had, bad past experience with math, because statistics is very different. All right. So now let's get into the fundamentals of statistics. Statistics, broadly, is the science/art of collecting, analyzing, and interpreting data. In this course, we will be doing or learning about all three of those verbs: collecting data, analyzing data, and interpreting data. And what data is values or categories associated with what we call observational units. You can think of an observational unit as the entity that's being studied, like a noun, a person, place, or thing. The reason I call statistics a science or art is because statistics deals with estimation. Therefore, when you estimate things, there may be some subjectivity attached to that. For instance, you could have two brilliant PhD statisticians look at the same set of data and come up with different results, yet both be right. And that's because when you're estimating things, there are different approaches and ways to go about it. Thus, we can consider statistics a form of art, as well as a science, because there will be some analytic approaches that are better than others. So the question now we need to ask ourselves is, okay, where do we begin? What's the goal of statistics? As a statistician, what is their main focus? Statistics is focused on estimating something about a population. And all a population is every single observational unit that you're interested in. For instance, if we wanted to measure the average GPA of all collegiate students in the United States, our population would be all college students in the U.S. However, many cases it would be unrealistic to get information from all of those students. Therefore, what we do is we collect data, which will be called our sample. And a sample is, in most cases, a very small subset of your original population. And what we do is we study and analyze that sample in hopes of making inferences about the original population in which we were interested in. This little animation, this little visualization is the crux of this course. For all the complicated analyses that we're going to be doing in this course, it's all going to boil down to making inferences about a population using an unbiased and representative sample. Now, coming up with an unbiased and representative sample is going to cause us a lot of problems, and we'll talk about that a little later on. But just so we kind of have the formal definitions for our notes, a population is the entire collection of observational units in which we're interested in. And we denote that as the uppercase letter N. We'll find a lot of statistical notation in this course. And so what I have done for you is in your help sheets, I have posted a sheet with all of the statistical notation that we'll be seeing. And I find students that perform better either have that sheet in front of them as they're learning material or are really comfortable with that sheet. Because I don't kind of write out the words for every single thing that we do. I use these notation symbols, and you'll find that a lot in your coursework as well. So getting comfortable with them will really make your lives a whole lot easier. The lowercase symbol n represents a sample. And as we saw, that's a subset of the population. So if we were dealing with collegiate students in the United States, the capital letter N would be about 20 million, right? There's about 20 million college students in the United States. And if we were to take a sample of, let's say, 1,000 of those, that would be denoted as lowercase n. What a sampling frame is a list of every single member of the population. So if you just had a master list of all 20 million United States college students, that is what would be our sampling frame. So what we essentially learned in this lecture was the fundamentals of statistics.